Hello, welcome to the 10-minute doc review where I review documentation for, you guessed it, 10 minutes. And I look at the quick start guide because that is the greatest way for you to turn a developer into a casual reader, from a casual reader into an advocate or a user, hopefully an advocate. And today we are going to look at OpenAI. And when we're looking at OpenAI, I probably should explain this in the beginning. When I review documentation, I look to see if it's purposeful. I look, does a quick start explain who's it for? It explains the audience. I look at UX experience. How seamless is it? Does it spark joy? And finally, I look to see if the instructions are accurate. If I don't get to the instructions these days, I'm just going to put an NA. Just to be fair, because I can't see if the instructions are accurate or not if I don't have a chance to actually access it. So, with that out of the way, welcome to OpenAI. I do have a confession. I am biased. I have been working with OpenAI on and off since May of 2022. When I say on and off, I've built, I think, 3 things with OpenAI. Their documentation does change quite a bit. And the last thing I built with OpenAI, I was actually using more of LangChain than OpenAI. So this version of their documentation for me will be new, but I have worked with OpenAI before. Just putting it out there. All right, so let me set the timer for 10 minutes and let's begin. So in my last video, I reviewed Claude, and Claude would bring you directly to ChatGPT. OpenAI gives you a choice: ChatGPT, API. Let's go with API. Oh boy, all right. It's very colorful, and I like color. And it says, welcome to OpenAI platform. Yay. Start with the basics. We have a quick start tutorial to the left. We have some examples to the right. And below we have build an application, GPT, learn how to generate text, call, functions, embeddings, image generation. Oh, that's so cool. GPT best practices, speech to text, and fine tuning. There's more. I'm not going to read all of it, but and here's a help center, developer forum, and server status. I already like this, but I have to say for my other reviews, just because I like the landing page doesn't mean it'll make for a great experience. We'll see. But right now, it tells you where to begin. You have the tutorial. If you want to look at some examples, that's to the right. And if you want to explore, it's the bottom, so that's cool. Let me see what's in the navigation bar. So there's documentation. Let's go to the quick start. I wonder if this quick start's the same as the link on the landing page. Let's go to the landing page. Yes, it is. All right, get up and running with OpenAI API. It provides a simple interface for developers. GPT-4. It says, want to jump straight to the code. Oh, look, some more expectation setting. This quick start is designed to help your local development environment set up, which is very important and takes a while sometimes, and send your first API request. Yes. If you're an experienced developer or just want to dive into using OpenAI API, they give you a chance to just go to the reference guide or a GPT guide. What is in the GPT guide? GPT, models. Oh, this is so cool. So this is a chat, completion API, function calling. Okay, so this is where you know OpenAI, but we are going to go to the very beginning. So it says account setup. First, set up an account, which I did, and then go to the API key page. Create new secret, optionally naming the key. Make sure you save it somewhere safe and do not share it with anyone. I have the API key. I hope you're not going to make me actually go and get it. Let's see, quick start, language, Python. Oh, oh, this is what I want. So okay, so it does bring you to the official Python website. Set up a virtual env, that's optional. Yes! This is the first documentation I've come across where they just give you the introduction, they just give you the instructions on how to set up the virtual env. Thank you, OpenAI. All right, so let's see, and set up your API key, which I have. All right, so let's get started. And I'm going to create a dummy key that I will erase. Let's go into code. I already have Python installed, but I don't have an env. And this is a very sensible env. I might actually have to put a 3 after that Python. Let's see. Yeah. A 3 here. Okay, let's activate. I always thought the activation process, I just wish this was a shorter command. Oh, what am I doing wrong? Uh, so I have forgotten how to, I don't think this is right. Here we go. So I believe it's source. Lane change for my other project. So I think it's source OpenAI env. Activate. Let's see if this works. It does. Okay, OpenAI, I don't think this is correct. I think you need to put source in front of it. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. I personally need to read. So this is for Windows, not for Mac or OS. I mean, Mac or Unix. Okay, install the Open AI Python library. Let's do that. Cool, cool, cool. And it says set up your API key for all projects. Set up your API key for a single project. That's what we're going to do. And I am going to create an API key. I wonder how I can. So we are going to get. Okay, so let's get to it. I got the API key, and in order to not show the API key, why don't we look at the code? Because I already put the script in, I already typed in the script locally. So what we have is OpenOS, so operating system, the OpenAI key over here, and here's the completion. So this is where you get to actually put in a model. You can also put like GPT-4 if you want. And here's the role system, Europe. So this is where you're hard coding your prompt. And it says, you're a poetic assistant skilled in explaining complex programming concepts with creative flair. Compose a poem that explains the concept of recursion in programming. Wow. Okay. And this is going to take the first item in, I believe, this dictionary. Go to iTerm. And as I mentioned before, I've already made this file locally. And let's do Python. Oh, I actually forgot the name of the file. So it's Python completion. I might have to put a 3 in the back of this Python. Let's see what happens. Oh no. It says, oh, and the time's up. It says no API key provided. You can set your API key. Huh. Let me take a look at that. So time's up, but I'm actually going to take a moment to see what's happened to my API key. So give me 1 second. All right. So I paused the video and I got a new key. So let's see what happens. And since I'll delete this key, I can actually show it. So here is my code. And here is the key. And let's try to get this to work. So it looks like I have an error message, and it says that, your API key is stored in a file, which I did before. It says no API key provided. Not an SSL warning, only supports OpenSSL. SSL model is compiled. Okay. So it looks like I'm having an issue. So it says I can put OpenAPI key equals API key, which I have here. But I do also have this OS, I guess, the Git environment, which I don't have because I am being reckless. So let's take out the OS Git environment and see what we have. And once again, right after this video, I am deleting this key. So let's try this again. It's probably wondering, why in the heck are you showing everyone your key? All right, so there's a warning, but there's not an error message. So we're still waiting. Maybe it's still processing. Ah, and there we go. We have an output. So here we have our prompt. The role is an assistant. And this is actually talking about recursion in a poetic way. Let's read it. In a realm where bytes dance and code prevails, there lies a concept that never fails. With elegance and mystique, it commands programming dance, an art of recursion. Imagine a function, a message to convey, to conquer a task in an intricate way, yet within its own walls, a secret hides, a quest for beauty that time defies, like a hall's mirror, reflect, unfold, a journey within, a story untold. Oh my gosh, this is totally like Fizzball. A loop that defies, with each iteration, a new adventure lies. I'm not going to read the rest of this, but there we go. I think the error message I got before is because it was expecting me to put in the key in a safer way and not hard code it. This worked. So it's time for me to give it a review. Let's go back to the docs. So If I give it a review, purposeful. Does the quick start explain what problem it's trying to solve? Who is the intended audience? I would say I would give that a 2.5. It was pretty clear. It was clear on where to begin. I think it could have given a bit more information on exactly what is ChatGPT, what is more about OpenAI, more about AI in general. It it was very, I don't want to say, it's very not to the point, but it could have been a bit more expressive. So we're going to give this a 2.5, but in terms of knowing what you want it to do, it was kind of clear. UX experience, how seamless was the experience? Must the user create an account? You had to create an account. Does the quick start elicit a sense of joy and achievement? I'm going to give it a 3. I definitely had joy and achievement. And finally, accurate. Are the instructions correct? Are they complete? They are accurate and they're complete. For someone who doesn't program on a regular basis like me, I know they were trying to be safe, but they could have explicitly showed how you can create an environment for your key, or they could have just had an example where you just hard code it. So I'm actually going to give that a 2.5. In general, this is a good experience. I think this is at this point the gold standard. LangChain is pretty good as well, but I really like the quick start. I think this is a good example. And thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.